I'm sitting in the center. Yeah, you sit with him. And you're there. Yep. All right. Who's got the turn the music on? All right. The mugs are yours, the pens are yours. Guys, enjoy. Thank you for coming on. Is that, you got one of those at the house?
That's what I drink out of.
Now you got.
I can make me a big cup.
Now you got one for your lady.
There you go.
She was just yelling at me.
She's a half a cupper at a time.
She don't need a big cup.
No, she just do a look, you know, and then she like it hot, you know.
Right.
I get me a big cup like that and I'll slurp her on down.
There you go. Hey, Dan, am I on the record there? I think I am. Sorry, guys.
See you trying to keep you
Right there. Down. See it?
That's more.
That's more?
Yes.
Where's record? Right.
Well, right next to the square, yeah.
There?
Yep.
Recorded computer, right? Is that what that says?
Yes.
Okay. There we go. All right, let me do a quick check, sound check with you guys. Go ahead and bring your seats close if you can, please. All right, Larry, you and Charlie's gonna be looking at sharing the mic here. All right? And then you guys got your own, he's gonna, I'm sorry, Jason. Charlie's over here.
I know where you're
The other child.
He's
gonna slap you now. He's gonna slap you.
All right. What? You messing with me already?
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Are you gonna be able to get on that mic all right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay, so this is me. You guys talk over here for a second.
Hey.
How you doing?
All right, I'm gonna need you to lean in just a little bit.
Me or Jace, or both of us.
Both of
me.
you. Yeah,
All right.
okay, that's good. And I believe this one is you.
Yep.
Oh, no, that's him.
Oh, hey,
You don't you don't have to get right up.
Okay, well, fine.
That's good.
Yeah.
Talk to me, Charlie.
Hey, good evening.
That's cool.
Glad to be here.
That's cool. All right, Stephen?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. All right. All right. This is gonna be fun. This is called the Storytellers Club or the Liars Club, whatever you want to call it.
Same thing, huh?
Same thing, yeah. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Robin.
Let's do it. Well, hey there, everyone. Well, hey there, everyone. Thank you so much, Parker, and welcome to Time Signatures. I'm Jim Ervin. We are on the road this evening, and we are recording live in my hometown, Bay City, Michigan. This is the installment of something that I lovingly refer to as the Storytellers Club or the Liars Club, whatever you want to call it. We have some amazing musicians joining me today, and each of them have a bucket of fun stories that we're going to hopefully get them to spill out for us. What I'm hoping to endeavor is to get them to share these stories and just have a good time. And by the way, we even have a few select members in our audience for the recording. Glad to have you here. Let's introduce the people that we have around us as we go on here. The #1 blues man, Larry McCray, is over here to my left. We also want to welcome his brother, longtime drummer, Stephen. Glad to have you guys here. Thank you very much. We have a young man that Larry met many years ago while he was in high school, and his name is Rhett Yocom. There's Rhett over here to my right. Rhett, ladies and gentlemen, glad to have him here. The next guy is a gentleman who invited me to come to Bay City to record this episode. He is the owner and chief luthier and creator of some incredible driftwood guitars, which you can see behind us right here. Gas can and street sign guitars, Jason Mills. And finally, a gentleman I've been looking forward to meeting for a few months now. He's been involved with Larry's music for many years. And if you are enjoying Larry's last 2 albums, Blues Without You and Heartbreak City, chances are you're enjoying some of his handiwork. Charlie Wamsley, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So guys, it's great to have you here. We're going to have a good time. First things first, we have one rule. We just want you to have fun, okay? And I think as the stories start flowing, I think you guys you'll get the idea of what we're doing here. We want to hear your stories, and hopefully I can lure you into sharing a good bunch of them with me. If you have something to add when somebody else is talking, by all means, feel free to find your spot and jump in. you're welcome to do that, okay? So first things first, I'd like to start with each of you and have you share with me how you got involved in music. And I don't want you to tell your story. Okay, I want you to go back to the younger days, all right? We're gonna get to that story though. And if you would, please include what age you realized your passion in music and what led you into this path, because as I'm hosting this, I'm just having a good time with it. So Charlie, I'm gonna begin with you, man. Where did it start for you?
So you're gonna go way back.
I'm gonna go way back.
Well, I'll tell you what, I took piano lessons at Holy Rosary Academy, the little Catholic school over there.
Oh, no kidding.
When I was in 5th grade, and I asked if I could take them, so they were right available in school. So I signed up and I took lessons for 1 year, and I really liked it. And I did pretty well, and then the sister, I won't mention her name, kicked me out after 1 year because I didn't practice the way I was supposed to over the summertime. So she kicked me out. So I only took lessons for 1 year, but my folks were nice enough to get a piano at home. So I was messing around on the piano. I remember learning the intro to Ray Charles' What I Say, you know,
Oh, wow.
when I was, 9 years old or so, 10, 11 years old. And,
Yeah.
and I got the sheet music for Alley Cat, and played some of that stuff. So I was always messing around on the piano. And then I got involved after the Beatles came out and all that, and guys were getting in bands. And I had an electric guitar in my first band. I was the lead singer, and my qualifications were I was the worst guitar player of the whole group. and I could remember all the words, so I was the lead singer. So that's how I got started.
Wow. All right, Stephen, how about you, man? Where to begin for you?
I'm the youngest of my family, so everybody was pretty much most of, with a couple of them, 2 or 3 of my siblings were already playing and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
and they had a guy that used to come over and jam with them, and I couldn't play at that time. I was probably 11, 12 years old or whatever. But I was jealous of this guy playing the drums, and because my brother Carl had bought the drums. They were his drums, but Carl played bass.
Oh.
So it left me out, and I just, for whatever reason, he stopped coming around, the drummer guy, and then
Who was drumming?
Brad Brown.
Oh, I remember. Okay.
And then, he told me, if you can learn how to play those drums, you can have them.
Wow.
So, needless to say, got in there trying to learn how to play, and that's where it started for me like that. I had older siblings already playing, so I was kind of jealous, and I wanted to be a part of that. So,
Nice.
What,
and
75?
they needed a drummer.
Yeah.
Was that 75, something along
It
that?
was like
76.
maybe a little later, 77 or 8, something like that.
Well, we played in 77 for Laverne Curry.
6 or 7, somewhere
Okay.
in there.
Okay, all right. How about you, Rhett?
Started out playing accordion and piano. My grandpa took me to some piano lessons after I played accordion with him for a little while, and then just listening to a bunch of old records and started finding, oh hey, you can kind of slow it down and find the rhythm of what they're doing. It doesn't help with the notes because the pitch change, but at least you could go through and slow it down a lot, so that way you could kind of figure out, oh, okay, they're doing this kind of a roll and stuff like that, and just kept with the piano for a good long time, and then things changed. But
All right. Jason,
How you doing?
how you doing?
You hear that?
Let's hear your
Who's got
story,
the
man.
squeaky chair?
Is that you?
I don't know, it's not me.
No, I think it's Charlie over here squeaking. Go ahead, man.
Well,
Talk
I,
about your start.
My grandfather, he was a state trooper and he retired, and so I got to grow up around him, and he liked to play guitar. He was born in 1909, and so I used to hear about all the stories about him going to the barn dances and growing up in Bay City, and he used to hop a train and go to Highwood when he was a kid and go up to Gladwin.
Nice.
That's where the name Highwood Guitars comes from.
Okay.
And then I didn't do anything for a long time until I was about 40 years old. Started getting into my hobby, the cigar box guitars.
That's cool. That's cool. We're going to talk more about that. And as I said, there's a great big display behind us. It's really cool to see all of the different guitars that you've built through the years, and looking forward to talking to you about those. Larry, how about you, man? Where'd you get your start?
Well, I started singing for people coming over to the house when I was probably about 9 years old, 8, 9 years old somewhere, but just about, before 10 years old. So I started singing first, and I guess, I was little, so I don't know what was going on, but evidently they thought I could sing anyway. And people would come over, and my mother and them, somebody would say, "Hey, sing a song for them, baby," and they would call me out, and I would be a little kid with my finger in my mouth, and I would be ashamed and looking at everybody, and finally they would coax me into singing, and I would sing, and that's pretty much where it started for me. But I got interested in playing guitar by watching my big sister. My big sister was an accomplished musician. She played with some blues musicians that came to be popular later on, like Michael Burks. She played with his father.
Wow.
on bass guitar.
Okay.
And it was a guy by the name of E.D. Mullins on keyboard.
Okay.
And Bobby Joe Hendricks played drums for her. So I started watching her, and I was too young to go to the club. Of course, we're talking 67, 68, along in them years.
Mm-hmm.
But it also used to be some ladies that used to come to our house and would practice singing in church. So she was a guitar player for a quartet group that sang.
Okay.
And I saw that also. So all this put the spirit and the desire of music in me. And then my sister left home in '65. She moved from Arkansas, moved to Michigan.
Okay.
So by '71, '72, she had come back for a couple visits. In '72, I believe it was. She come home for that summer, and I was just coming home with her just to come up for a visit. And before, I thought I would be going to school. And before the summer was out for school, my mother had called and changed the whole plan, said, "Don't send him back, put him in school," and the rest of the family pulled up roots, and that's how we end up in Michigan.
Wow.
And so when I moved in with my guitar player sister, she had a guitar right there. I could put my hands on it. And so, that's what started me.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Now I'm gonna come back to you because I want to take the next question. I'm gonna start over here on my left. Let's talk for a moment about how you got involved, all of you, in your first band. Okay, what was your first paying gig? Larry, I want to start with you.
My first paying gig was a wedding for a lady at our church with Steve and our other brother Carl. It was 3 of us. We started our McCray Brothers, and that was our first paying gig at a wedding. I think they gave us $100 to come and play their wedding or something like that. Yeah. This must have been about '77.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How about your first paying gig? And this is
I
gonna.
did a cigar box guitar, or a cigar commercial for Sindicato Cigars. I built them a guitar and played it for them.
Did you really?
My friend Kevin Collier, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Very neat. Larry or Steven?
I mean, it's pretty much what he said about the wedding thing. I mean, we started from there, like little parties and basement gigs and outdoor yard parties.
Playing in the street. We used to play in the street all the time just for the hell of
whatever,
it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
But
cool.
it started probably with that thing he's talking about, that wedding reception.
Okay. Charlie, yes, get yours.
My first gig was with that band I mentioned where I was a lead singer. I was a lead singer because they wouldn't let me near a guitar. We all packed up. We have 5 guys, drum kits, amps, guitars, in the drummer's 1959 Chevy 4-door. And it had holes rusted right through the floor in the back seat. So you sit in the back seat, you could throw your cigarette butt right out through the hole in the floor.
He had an ice fishing car.
So we drove.
You got some reaction out of the audience.
Don't try that now, though. But we drove to somewhere up in the Sandusky or somewhere and played a school dance. So we're 15 and 16. We got a gig playing a school dance. Girls are coming up and talking to us. Now, I couldn't get a girl in my own high school to talk to me. And these girls are coming to talk to us. They paid us $25, $5 a piece. I remember the guitar player on the way back home holding up that $5 bill saying, "We made it, man, we made it." You know, $5 back then, that was a half a tank of gas, a carton of cigarettes.
Oh,
and a Happy
yeah.
Meal, you know,
Yeah.
so that was my first paying
Got
gig.
paid.
Yeah, man. All right, how about you, Rhett?
First paying gig would have been, I'm gonna guess 2015 or so. The band was not named at that point. We got a graduation party in Pinconning somewhere, and it was myself, Andrew Lee, and Brandon Ehlers. Andrew played bass and Brandon played drums, and they named us Flashback. And I think I might have made $50. Might have. I don't remember that, but I know we got paid for it, and you know, a little cardboard sign that said Flashback, and we started doing stuff locally.
Wow. And the rest is history.
Somewhat.
Yeah. All right, guys, here's a fun one. Talk about your worst Roadhouse moment on stage. Where was the gig? And if chicken wire was involved, you get extra points. Okay? I'm going to start back with you, Rhett.
Man, it'd take me a minute to think, because there's been a few where it's just been a little shaky.
Pick out the diciest one in your memory, man.
I think I might take a cop out and generalize, and just there's been quite a few of drunk people getting up on stage, trying to talk into the microphone, trying to talk to you while you're playing. I think I've had a couple of them with Steve. Somebody comes up and wants to talk to you. Hey man, do you know this song? And you're in the middle of one. You're trying to do stuff. You know, you're trying not to hit them with your bass or with your guitar or with your drumsticks or something. And they're, hey, do you know this song? I don't know. Talk to me later.
Free bird.
Yeah. How about you, Charlie? You got one?
Well, I used to play with a really good rock band called Spice over in the Mount Pleasant area. And we played a lot of weddings, and this would have been late 70s, early 80s, and we played a wedding up in Harrison where the daughter of a sheriff deputy was marrying a state trooper.
Uh-oh.
Okay? And so the whole place was all law enforcement officers. I say that with all due respect. And by the time we got halfway through the second set, every person, not exaggerating, every person in that hall, in that VFW hall or whatever it was beating on each other. Everybody in there. Old crippled man with a cane beating on a young kid, women ripping their blouses off. But everybody in that whole room, all the cops were there. So finally, the sheriff sent a wagon around and broke it up. I'm sure they didn't arrest anybody, but that's the worst fight I've ever seen. And it was all cops, and they were all beating on each other.
It was all cops.
It was all cops.
Man.
It was the daughter of a sheriff deputy marrying a state trooper.
Oh,
and
man.
and somebody said something wrong, and they just started in. And as soon as the first punch flew, 5 minutes later, the whole room was beating each other up. Men, women, children. That's my worst Roadhouse moment.
All right, how about you, Steven?
Oh man, there's so many. I don't know.
Just pick a good
My
one.
whole career. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Original TNT.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. But it was one time we were in Detroit, Royal Oak, I think it was, playing with Larry, and this guy we knew that was a drummer came on stage and just doing me like this, motioning for me to give him the sticks, and he wanted to sit in the middle of a song. So I did it and gave him the sticks. And it sounded, once he got on the drums, like he was falling down the steps or something. It was like, I should have just like hit him with the sticks
That
or
was in
something.
Chicago. That was in Chicago.
No, that was Eldridge.
In Chicago.
You know,
And we lived in
it
Aurora.
was at the Fifth Avenue.
Okay.
Whatever, it's so many.
I remember the night. I don't know where it
If I
was
could
at.
think,
I thought it was in
I
Chicago.
can think of probably a lot more. I got in a couple of scuffles and stuff.
Okay. Did you have any scrapes, or was it
I
been
didn't
pretty?
have scrapes, but remember Cash O'Reilly? You guys know Cash O'Reilly. He had, my wife and I, we went and did a setup at Outlaw Pete's. He did some sort of festival thing there. And it ended up being a big biker bar. Towards the end of the night, all these people were flooding
Oh,
in.
man.
We didn't read the room right, I guess. We're still sitting there having our good time in our tent and guitars, and it's getting time to pack up, and we had to leave through a couple of brawls. I think she got locked in a bathroom, and
Oh, man.
there's a big fight outside. And that one broke up. We could barely get our stuff in the trailer and leave.
Wow.
So, no more Outlaw Pete's.
Okay, Larry, how about you, man? I'm sure you've had your share.
I've had so many. I mean, I'm a magnet to disaster. And so any drunk, anybody on drugs, any wild person, anybody, any undesirable, they always seem to find, they come right to me. I don't have to look for them, they come right to me. And one night we was...
Is Peggy nodding her head back there?
Have a contest about
Well, I've never even told her this story.
Okay.
But one night we were in a club down in Detroit as well, and we come off the set just like this. And you used to come off the stage, and the bathroom was just right around. You come off, and you just duck right around at the old Cisco's, and you duck right around, and you're in the bathroom.
Okay.
So we come down off the set one night, and I went into the bathroom to do my duties, and followed in behind me was this man's wife. And she wanted my t-shirt and my shirt or t-shirt, whatever I was wearing at the time, and she was already pretty liquored up. So by the time he got up from his chair and made it to the bathroom, she already had her shirt off, and wasn't nobody in the bathroom but just me and her, and I'm standing there trying to, like I don't know, that's not me.
That's your story. Anyway.
Yeah, that happened to me one night down at the old Sully's.
Oh, man.
hmm So we, me and the man and his wife all became friends, and we see each other now. I saw him at your event when I played for you last this fall in where was that, Muskegon?
Yeah.
They come there, and I mean, you know, we all laugh about it now, but at the time, boy, you want to talk about someone on the hot seat, that was me.
Oh, man.
You know, trying to, you know, I'm like, you know, people are crazy. And
yeah.
I didn't know what to think of how he was going to react. You know, I went in the men's bathroom. His wife was in the men's bathroom, so
what would you have done?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, you know, if it was any problem, he had a problem. I wasn't doing nothing I wasn't supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Man. All right, Larry, I'm going to start back with you and come back around. For those of you that have opened for a big name musician, who was it? How did it go? Any fanboy moments? Any moments that didn't quite go so well? I mean, early on, or
Anytime I was like starstruck or something like that, you mean?
Yeah. Who's the biggest star you ever opened for?
Well, I didn't open for her, but I got invited to Aretha Franklin's dress rehearsal at the Navy Pier in Chicago.
Okay.
And the way that came about was that her musical director, H.B. Barnum, come to where we were playing one night in Chicago. And he liked the music so well, he invited me to come down and to meet the band, you know, to be the fly on the wall for the dress rehearsal and everything. So I went down, and she had about a 30-piece band, I think it was. Wow. Down there. She had timpani, kettle drum, she had guitar, a couple of keyboard players, she had lady singers. It just was a massive thing. Strings, she had strings and horns, and the whole 9 yard. And her son was her musical director, so he was running. Well, actually, it was H.B. Barnum, but he, you know, was the musician that if they needed anything done, then I guess he told him what to do. But HB was kind of like, you know, with the wand and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask you, because you've got a huge storied career yourself. If I'm not mistaken, didn't you open for BB?
Oh, several times.
What
All
was,
through the 90s.
What was opening for BB King like, man?
Well, I met BB in '86.
Okay.
And upon meeting him after the first meeting, everything was great. I mean, you know, I met and got a chance to know all the band members and everything. So we had a regular rapport with him because we opened shows for him all over the country through the 90s.
No kidding.
And so BB was very gracious, and he would always give our music a spin through the interlude for changeover. Like when we would play and do our thing, then when they changing over, he would play some of our music and stuff, and would always give Larry McCray a big round of applause. He was very gracious and a very kind individual. I love BB King. BB King was just like what you think he would be. He was just a kind, good person and treated everybody with respect and kindness.
Yes, sir. Now, I wanted to ask you real quick while we're talking about BB, because as you know, today of all days, they released another 5 songs for the BB King Summit 100.
Yeah.
Okay, for his 100th birthday.
Yeah.
Talk about that, because Joe Bonamassa put this together. There's 40 musicians involved in this album. I was gonna talk about this later, but I'm not talking about it right now because it just feels normal, like it should. Talk about that call to be a part of that, because that had to be a huge honor for you.
It was a huge honor, and BB King was probably my first influence outside of my sister. I learned BB King's music, you know, some of his music first.
Okay.
And then from BB King, it was Albert King, Freddie King, Albert Collins. That was my first study, you know, trying to become accomplished blues musician. And to be invited on this project, you know, so many times I go places, people tell me, you sound like BB King. You remind me of BB King. I mean, I get that more than anything, and I never thought that, you know, when I was young, I didn't like it so much because I thought that maybe, you know, they were boxing me in, and BB was much older, and I didn't want to be known as the old blues guy. I wanted to be the fiery, young rocker blues guy, you know.
Right.
But as I aged and learned his significance and his contribution and everything, I'm very proud to be in his likeness, you know, for somebody to say you sound like him. That is an honor to me.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. How about you? Do you have any moments where you got
Not
to
like
open
these
yourself
guys.
any, or?
Not like these guys. No, I was an electrician,
Okay.
not a musician.
Okay. All right,
But
but you did, one of your first guitars was made for a musician, was it not?
Not my first ones. They were
One up.
one of maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Tell us
Oh.
that story for a minute. We can tie that
Well, it
one
wouldn't
in.
have been my first one. You mean David Allen Cole?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Cash O'Reilly. That was after I had been building for a while, though I had many guitars under my belt by then. But I had helped him build some gas can guitars and maintain his. And one night he called me and said, "Hey, you want to build one for David Allen Cole?" So we went to the machine shop and he opened for him that night and got to meet the old guy and see him handle his guitar. It was kind of cool. They had the whole Outlaw chapter from Detroit come in the
Oh,
back
wow.
door, and that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
So that
Now-
was pretty cool.
Over the course of, how many years have you been building?
Since 2009, maybe.
Okay, so 16 years,
Yeah.
roughly. Over the course of that 16 years, you've built some guitars for some pretty significant musicians in addition to David, haven't you?
Larry McCray.
Yeah, of course,
Got
yeah.
some driftwood. We like to play around with the 3-string driftwoods, fretless, and
Yep.
make some cool sounds with them.
And there's a younger group that you told me about today.
Rhett Van Fleet, yep, both them 5 guitars from the stage from Fisher Hall in Franklin.
How cool is that? And that's where they're from, is Frankenmuth.
Yeah, I used to play on that stage, and they helped them do the remodel, so the Hall had me build guitars out of the stage.
Wow.
So
And of course, you know, Rhett's over here nodding his head because Papa Kishka, the father of 3 of these boys from Greta Van Fleet, is in his band and plays with him occasionally as well. So that's pretty cool. I like those stories as well. Stephen, how about you? Your biggest person you ever played with on stage, open for?
Bunch of,
You got some pedigree, man. I know you do.
I mean, a lot of the things coincide with what Larry said earlier,
Mhm.
you know, but I remember once we did we did a B.B. King's birthday party
Oh, wow.
at the
70th.
at the Hard Rock in Chicago. So we playing there, and all these musicians, Robert McCray and all this, everybody was coming in there, and so Tony Coleman got up on my drums and tried to kill him and stuff, you know. And I said I'd never let that dude play my drums anymore. But whatever. We took a break, and it was about that time, about a half hour later, whatever. It was time for BB to go cut the cake. So upstairs was the cake, and there was all these people standing around. He made like a little gauntlet for him to walk through, and he getting closer and closer to the cake. But I was standing in the crowd with everybody else, and he stopped right at me and shook my hand out of everybody else.
Wow.
How you doing, young man? Like that, you know. He remembered me from he hadn't even seen me play that night, but he remembered me from the other shows that we used to open and stuff. So that was pretty cool. I thought, you know.
I don't know if you remember one night too, Bernard Purdy showed up and wanted to meet you, wanted to talk to you.
Yeah.
And that was always one of our heroes. Bernard was did all the early Aretha Franklin sessions like Rock Steady.
Okay.
And he was known as Mr. Flash. You know, for us, Bernard was funky back, you know, growing up and stuff. So we heard a lot of his, you know, a lot of his music. And we had finished the BB King show, and he come up to me first, and he said, "Hey man, I really enjoyed y'all set and everything." I said, "Thank you, sir." You know, just like I do. And then I said, "What's your name, sir?" He said, "Bernard Purdy." When he said that, my mouth dropped right open. I said, "Hang on just a minute." And I ran and got Steve so he could meet Bernard, because, you know, being a drummer, I know that would really been important to him, you know, to meet him. So I went and got him, and he got a chance to talk to Bernard as well, and we hung out a few minutes, you know.
So did T.C. Coleman teach you how to play the drums with your hands too?
No.
I don't know. You ever seen video of this guy?
Yeah.
He's a monster, man. He's
Oh, Tony.
Tony Coleman.
Tony Coleman, yeah,
he's a
yeah.
monster.
Yeah, he's a hard hitter.
But you
You
also
wanna call
have
it.
you've done some stuff for some other big name musicians, haven't you? Contributed on albums and whatnot.
Yeah.
Got any good stories on that? Come on, man. I know you do.
I was in the studio with Junior Wells, Lucky Peterson,
Man.
Johnny B. Gayton, and Buddy Guy was on this. All of us was on the session together. You know, doing some stuff for some of Junior Wells. I was on like 2 of his tracks.
I think that was
What's
Jatanis
the
back in those days, huh?
Huh?
Was that Jatanis,
What do you mean?
the label?
Oh no, I was Telarc.
Tell-Arc, okay, I thought it was Jatanis.
Yeah. Better Off with the Blues.
Yeah, Better Off with the
That
Blues.
was the CD. Yeah.
He told me, we caught it somehow, I don't know what it was, I said something about it or whatever, and he made a comment that he was on a couple of tracks on that album. So I went out and I bought the album like right away because I had to have it. I'm like, Steven's on this, I gotta have this, man. This is cool, so.
John Primer played on his. Me and Larry.
Oh, yeah.
We played together on his Knocking at Your Door CD,
Yeah.
on the whole CD.
Nice.
Otis Rush.
Yeah.
Shoot, I'm trying to think here. John Snyder was the producer on a lot of those things back in those days. Otis Clay.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? I'm trying to. I can't. It's hard to remember. You know.
Right.
You, Larry, played on Lucky's, what's it called, Spank and Leroy.
Spanking Leroy.
I was going through that from the publishing catalog today, and I come across Spank and Leroy, and it says Larry McCray on guitar. Yeah.
That was one of my most fun tracks too that I got a chance to play with him, and it's a video on Facebook of this man, this big dude, popping this girl around dancing, man, and
Like-
they
like
dancing
swing
to
dancing.
Spanking Leroy,
Yeah.
and it's something to see, man. It's so cool.
Spankin' Leroy.
Yeah.
Go look that up, man. Well,
It's a hot shuffle.
we'll have to
Ching,
throw,
chung, ding, ching, ching. And Lucky is all over the thing, man.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
All right, how about you, man? Any big moments for you?
Well, you know, one of my biggest moments would be playing with Larry and Steve when we opened up for Bobby Bland in Chicago. That was pretty cool.
That's a pretty damn big moment.
But a really cool thing happened with Preston Shannon. He maybe is not quite as well known. He's a blues soul artist.
Memphis mainstays.
Memphis,
Yeah, yeah.
He's gone now, but this
Yeah.
was several years ago when it was at the St. Louis Blues Festival in St. Louis, Michigan. And I was playing in the band and we were up before Preston Shannon. Preston Shannon was the headliner that night. And so I'm tearing down my stuff because he's, you know, the star's coming up, and he comes up to me and says, "Have you got to go somewhere?" I said, "Well, I'm getting this out of here, sir." He said, "No. He said, "I'd like you to leave your piano right where it is." "Oh, you want to use?" "No, I want you to play my set with me." So he invited me to play his show with him, and it was wonderful.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
fabulous, and he gave me lots of space and lots of room.
Yes.
And we had a great night, and he paid me. He paid me. I mean, I was thrilled just to be
Just
on the
to
same
play,
stage
yeah.
with the guy. I mean, I really liked his music. I loved it. Anyway,
Yeah.
so that was a treat for me.
There you go. All right, Rhett, you're up, man. And you can't say Larry.
Well, I mean, it's a portion of it. I do have to say, I got two of them that are kind of short, but I do have to say, I starstruck it just absolutely every day, every week, because I get to learn from some of the best blues musicians that have ever come about, and I mean, Larry and Steve, but two that aren't anybody around here would be, I have to be you and me, from you to me away from Johnny Winter.
Oh, man.
When he played at the Temple Theater, not Temple, the Masonic Lodge down there on Center.
Mm.
I stood meeting you away. From
Here in
down
town?
there. Here in town. And I forget who else was on that bill. It might have been, I don't think it was Larry, I think it might have been Thornetta and Sugar Blue was on that bill. But I got to stand that close to Johnny Winter, and then as we were leaving, I had my big cowboy hat that, you know, looked like a hat that Johnny Winter wore and stuff. As we were leaving, my car ended up being parked in front of his tour bus. So I'm walking out, going to my car, and he comes wheeling out the side of the Masonic Temple over there. And I said, you know, "Great show, Mr. Winter," and he just kind of nodded his hat and up into the bus. But the second one was played the Lansing, Michigan Blues Festival here a couple, I think 2 years ago now. And I got to have my friends on stage, and we didn't open for anybody, we were the headliner.
Yes, you were.
And, you know, some folks might have had some doing with that, but, got to go on after Jim McCarty, which I found it really funny because the amp that I use is a Drip Edge 1968 Pro Reverb, and he uses, I think, a 71 or 72 Pro Reverb. And it was just funny because he was taking his off, I'm putting mine on, and they'd look
Same.
I'm like, "Nice amp." And he shook his hand and got to meet Jimmy McCarty. I mean, I listened to Cactus for 10, 15 years. I'm like, yeah, great guitar playing all over that, and all of his work with everybody else. It was just kind of a fun thing.
I think one of the coolest albums I've heard of Jim's, it's actually a posthumous release from Jimi Hendrix. And it's, was it 9 to the Universe, I believe? And there's a cut on this album called the Jimmy Jam. And it's Jim McCarty and Jimi Hendrix jamming.
Jimmy.
It's Jimmy Jam. Jim doesn't want to talk about the album because it was done clandestinely. It was done, you know, kind of in a bad way. But it's really cool to have it, regardless of the fact it's a bootleg.
Yeah.
Just to hear those two going at it, man, it's a crazy thing. All right, guys, we're gonna flip the channel here. The biggest snafu moment you've ever had as a musician, starting with you, Rhett.
Very recent one. As people age, they tend to forget things. And I was headed down to Mount Pleasant to play with Steve and my friend Eric Ryden and Jeff Grossel. And I made it, because I live up north, I made it to about just a little bit south of Bay City. And look around in the car, I'm like, I don't have my bass. Got everything else, but I don't have my bass. Now, if it's a guitar, I can make do, because I'll know somebody somewhere. Hey, I could have called Larry. Hey, can I borrow a guitar for the night? Something. A bass. I don't really know a whole lot of bass players, and I'm sure that most of the ones that I do know are working, So so I called my friend Jeff, because I'll throw some shade when he's not here to defend himself. He might leave a little bit later than I would. And
Okay.
so I called him, and he hadn't left yet, so he stopped past my house and grabbed my bases and
Pulled your bacon out of the fire.
yep, saved my rear end pretty good. I thought it was funny. I showed up. Yeah, we're gonna sound check. I don't know what we're gonna sound check with, but yeah, you test my amp.
Charlie, how about you, man?
Well, I think of one right down the road here, right in Vets Park. Early '70s, my band, the Draytons, and I had this Wurlitzer electric piano, and it was an outdoor concert. You know, some event in the park, and they had a couple of bands, and we were one of the bands. And I used to use this wooden box to put all my junk in, and then I'd sit on it. You know, I didn't need a fancy stool or anything. So I'm rocking away on my wooden box, and I'm toward the edge of the stage, and right about the time they're gonna go solo and say, "Take it, Charlie," I went back off the back end of the stage. My wooden
you
box came out, and I
man.
went off the back end of the stage, and all they could see was my feet when it was time for my solo. I didn't get hurt or anything, but that was a pretty big snafu.
Yeah, no kidding, no kidding. Steven, how about you, man?
You know, once playing at the Hamilton Street Pub in Saginaw, the drum riser was like way up, probably like 4 feet, chest high.
Wow.
Chest high. So back in the day, I had those little drums that Carl gave me, and the stands had the three tri legs on it, and it wasn't that sturdy.
Okay.
So I'm playing in the middle of a set, and all of a sudden I crashed that cymbal once, and the whole thing come falling down and missed Carl by like that much.
Edgewise, it would have chopped it. It would have chopped him right
It
in
would
the head.
have busted him in the head
The whole-
if it had a head.
The whole stand, the cymbal,
The
and
whole
all
cymbal,
fell.
everything,
Oh, man.
just like that.
Wow.
I mean, that was pretty crazy right there. So
Yeah, no kidding.
it made me invest in some better cymbal stands.
I'll bet, yeah. Well, I don't normally dive in with a story, but I'm gonna share the story because the last time I did one of these Storytellers Clubs episodes, I was at Motor City Josh's studio down in Detroit, okay? Metro Detroit, his northern suburbs. And I asked that question, and everybody came to the table with an answer, and they all told their stories. Long story short, I get done and I go stop the recorder.